Welcome to the Man United stream. In today's show we're talking about Harry Maguire and how everybody not related to Manchester United is coming out in defence of him. Also in today's show we're going to be talking about the takeover of Manchester United and the rumours that we're hearing and reports that we're getting that maybe the Glazers are in talks with Sir Jim Ratcliffe about allowing them to stay on and having even voting rights if they allow Sir Jim to buy the club. And we'll also talk about Jadon Sancho and what's going on there. Now we're hearing that Richard Arnold, the CEO of Manchester United, is also getting involved and trying to broker a deal and a resolution between Ten Hag and Sancho. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But before we start everything, go ahead and smash that like button on the video, and if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's kick off today's show with Harry Maguire. Yes, he's back in the headlines. And the reason why Harry Maguire is back in the headlines is because he scored an own goal against England's game against Scotland just this week on international duty. And he had lots of Scottish fans on the opposing side cheering Harry Maguire, shouting out his name and really just taking the mick out of Harry Maguire. Gareth Southgate, the England manager, in his post-match press conference came out in defence of Harry Maguire, saying that it was despicable the way in which the English media had targeted and bullied Harry Maguire. He essentially gave a rallying cry to all English media to get behind Harry Maguire and support him in every way possible. And lo and behold, we've suddenly had loads of reports, loads of articles in support of Harry Maguire and his treatment that he's getting from rival fans, from his own fans and from the media and certain pundits within the media. And Manchester United fans in particular are being criticised the most for not supporting Harry Maguire and not getting behind him. Also this morning we read an article in the Daily Mail by Jamie Carragher, the ex-Liverpool defender, who's come out calling Onana a disgrace for shouting at Harry Maguire. Like, what the hell is going on? Let's just rewind a little bit just in case you've not been keeping on top of all the information coming out of Harry Maguire and what's been going on in Harry Maguire's situation in this last few months. So in this summer transfer window we heard that Ten Hag didn't have any plans for Harry Maguire and wanted him to be sold. Manchester United, and behind the scenes, started taking offers on Harry Maguire, and we got a very good offer, an offer that was actually accepted by Manchester United from West Ham for £30 million for Harry Maguire to leave. Now Manchester United accepted that £30 million offer made by West Ham, and everything seemed to be on course for Harry Maguire to join West Ham. But suddenly, around about a week after accepting the offer, we heard news that Harry Maguire was refusing to leave Manchester United, and the reason why he was refusing to leave is because he wasn't happy that he would be missing out on some of his salary if he was to leave Manchester United and join West Ham, who were clearly not going to pay him as much as what he was on at Manchester United. Now, whatever your opinion is of Harry Maguire, he was contractually owed that money by Manchester United, and it's not uncommon for players to request that they be paid out of their contract before they leave and join another club, especially if there's any difference in salary. However, the person in charge of making that payout or making that final call was Joel Glazer, and he refused to make that payment out to Harry Maguire, and hence we've had Harry Maguire sat here waiting around doing nothing. Now, everyone will have a different opinion on Harry Maguire. Different Manchester United fans will have different opinions on what they feel Harry Maguire has to offer Manchester United. Now, my opinion on Harry Maguire is that he's simply not good enough to play at Manchester United. He might be good enough to play for West Ham, he might be good enough to play for other clubs, but he's not good enough to play for Manchester United, a team that's consistently trying to achieve top 4 finishes, trying to go and win the Premier League, trying to win the Champions League. And unfortunately, we've seen over the years that Harry Maguire is simply not good enough to play in that position as a centre-back for Manchester United in these big games. Now, for those fans, for those critics and those football pundits to come out and say that Harry Maguire is not good enough to play for Manchester United should not be considered as bullying. We all respect Harry Maguire in his own personal right. Yes, he's a footballer, he's done well in his life, he's done well to achieve what he's achieved, but the simple fact remains that he's not good enough to play for Manchester United. He makes lots of mistakes. He isn't fast enough. He hasn't got the defensive awareness to be a top centre-back. Simple as. That's my opinion and an opinion held by many other people out there. Now, that shouldn't make us bullies. It's just simply stating a fact. Now, I've said this many times before. This isn't anything personal to do with Harry Maguire. It's just simply he's not good enough to play in that position, and that's it. He might be a really nice guy off the pitch, but looking at it from a totally objective point of view, he's not good enough to play for Manchester United currently. In his current form, he's not good enough. He's nowhere near good enough to play for Manchester United. And you can also see that the players within the dressing room, within Manchester United, don't actually respect him as a leader, as a player, especially if he's not playing good enough. You cannot pick a player who's not in form, who's not good enough to be playing for Manchester United, to play every week and then expect the other players to respect him and respect the manager. Since Harry Maguire first joined Manchester United for that £80 million record-breaking fee, the media have never called him out, have never said that he's not good enough to play for Manchester United, but the writing was always on the wall. He was not good enough. You started seeing the cracks in Harry Maguire's form and ability very early on in his career at Manchester United. Southgate needs to go and ask David Beckham what bullying was like, because he was a player who was bullied harshly by the media, and so was Cristiano Ronaldo. In his last spell at Manchester United, the media had a witch hunt out for him. And Harry Maguire is not being abused by rival fans. Where did this come from? Arsenal fans were cheering him when he came on. The Scottish fans were cheering Harry Maguire when he was playing. Now they find Harry Maguire comical and they take the mick out of him, but they don't abuse him like they've abused other players in the past, like Beckham, like Cristiano Ronaldo. Now they would get bullied by rival fans throughout the entire game. And what does Southgate or Harry Maguire or the media want from all the Manchester United fans? Do they want us not to come out there and criticise a player that's not doing well enough for Manchester United? Do they just want us to sit there and just back Harry Maguire up when he's not doing well enough and he shouldn't be playing for Manchester United, and he's refusing to leave and he's causing a problem for Manchester United, because Manchester United should be going out there and buying a new centre-back? We were talking about buying Pavard, we were talking about buying Todibo if Harry Maguire was sold, but Harry Maguire simply turned around and refused to leave, knowing full well that he was not going to really contribute to Manchester United and Ten Hag's team. So as Manchester United fans, of course we'd be worried about our team. Of course we want new players who do contribute to Manchester United, and that is why most Manchester United fans were not happy with Harry Maguire's actions. What are your thoughts on Harry Maguire? Do you think he's been unfairly treated by the fans and the media, or do you think he's been getting an easy ride by the media and by some fans throughout his career for Manchester United? Let us know, drop your comments below, and if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and smash that like button whilst you're at it. Okay, so let's move on to takeover news now. It's been a couple of weeks since we've talked about the takeover and the Glazers selling Manchester United because no news has come out. But suddenly this week we've started getting a bit more movement, a few more rumours coming out, a few more reports. We've had Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually earlier this week come out and make some comments about Manchester United and buying Manchester United. Since yesterday we've actually started hearing rumours that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been asked by the Glazers to allow them to stay on at the club and allow them voting rights also before they agree to sell him the club. Now most people have commented that if the Glazers are trying to agree some kind of deal where they still stay on at the club and they have voting rights, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will not allow that. He's not that silly. He is a businessman. He knows how important it is to control the board, to control the club in its entirety, and will not want the Glazers sat there vetoing anything that they're not happy with. Now these are just rumours. We're not actually getting anything concrete from any source saying that this is the case, and the Glazers are looking to hold on to Manchester United through voting rights and through having shares and selling some of the club to Sir Jim Ratcliffe so the heat comes off them. But this was a possibility. We've been hearing this for some time, that the Glazers might take this option of Sir Jim Ratcliffe because it is a halfway house. Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes ownership and is the face of Manchester United, whilst the Glazers still benefit from the income coming into Manchester United and still hold on to shares which could be worth a lot more going forward. But what I've seen with the Glazers is that they release small snippets of news and they test the waters, they test the fans' reactions and they test the reaction of the media and see what it's like. They've done that throughout their time at Manchester United, where they release snippets of information to see what the reaction is. If it's positive, yes. If it's neither positive or negative, yes, that's fine. But if it's negative, then they hold back. That's what they do with everything, and I think that's what they've been doing with this takeover. They've been releasing certain amount of information in the media to see what the reaction is like. Yes, we're going to sell. No, we're not going to sell. Let's see what the reaction is. Or we're going to hold on for a couple of years, and then they see what the reaction is of the fans and of the media. And if it's slightly positive, then they know that they can take that option. And if they get a negative reaction from the leak, then they know that that is not an option for them right now. But what we've heard from our sources is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Yassim are both in it for the long haul. They're not willing to just simply back off right now. They know that this is going to take some time. The Glazers are not willing to accept sale immediately and they'll be forced out, and therefore they're holding on, waiting to see what happens with the Glazers. What we do know is that Sheikh Yassim has got the money to blow everyone out of the water. Yes, he's got the money to go out there and buy Manchester United if he wants to for 10 billion or even more. That's what we do know. We know he's got the money, but he doesn't want to spend all that money just paying off the Glazers. He wants to keep some of that money so he can actually spend it on the club and the infrastructure and improve the club, and that is what all Manchester United fans actually want. Yes, we're aware that that is what is needed right now. There's a lot of investment needed in this infrastructure of Manchester United at Old Trafford and at the training facilities, and that is why Sheikh Yassim probably does have a budget of 10 million plus for Manchester United, but he doesn't want to offload all that money to the Glazers. He wants to keep that money and actually spend it on the club. It's only the Glazers who want all that money, and they probably know that he's got all that money and they want all of it. They don't care about Manchester United and money being spent on Manchester United. They don't care about that. What we are seeing play out right now is that the sale is not going to take place anytime soon. The Glazers are dragging their heels. They've been dragging their heels all year long. They've been waiting for someone else to come on board and to offer them something different to what they've been offered by Sheikh Yassim and by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They want something completely different. They just want the money and that's it. But no one is coming in and offering them that money. And thank God that is the case, because we do not want anyone coming in and offering the Glazers a blank check and saying, there you go, you can stay on at Manchester United, here's your money. We do not want that. We actually want a new owner. We've seen that the Glazers don't have a clue on what they're doing and we want them out. We want new owners, simple as. Whether it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whether it's Sheikh Yassim or someone completely random, we don't really care. But whoever is the new owner, we just want them to give a crap about the club. We just want the owner to come in and spend money on the club. We don't want them to be taking any dividends out of the club. So we fans still need to be on the back of the Glazers. We still need to get our message out that we do not want the Glazers at the club and we want them to sell the club and we want them to sell it 100%. So moving on to the story of Jadon Sancho. Yes, we've been covering this for a couple of days now and it's been ongoing, where Jadon Sancho and Ten Hag have met and they're trying to resolve the situation, and now we're hearing that Richard Arnold, the CEO of Manchester United, is also getting involved and he wants to broker a deal, a resolution between Ten Hag and Sancho and try and sort things out and resolve something between the two. Now, the reason why Richard Arnold is getting involved is clearly because the Glazers and Richard Arnold and the board of Manchester United feel that Jadon Sancho is an asset for the club and they don't want to lose him immediately overnight, and they don't want him to be sat on the bench. They want him to be playing and they want Ten Hag to be playing him. But Ten Hag has to put his foot down. Ten Hag has to have the ultimate say in this matter. Let us know what you think about the whole Jadon Sancho issue. Are you in favour of Ten Hag or are you in favour of Sancho? I mean, look, this is again nothing personal about Jadon Sancho. It's simply about the club and how everyone should be operating within the rules at the club, and the players should respect the manager. Whether it's Jadon Sancho, whether it's Maguire, whether it's anyone else at the club, any other player, they should respect the manager and what he's trying to implement for the team. Okay, so in our final topic of the day, we're looking at the story that came out in the Daily Mail that Manchester United had spent over £1.19 billion in the last 10 years. But what does it actually mean? Critics will jump on United saying that this is why Manchester United haven't done well enough because they've spent so much money. The Glazers will say that, look, this is why we're not tight. We have spent so much money on the club and the fans should be happy with us. We're really good owners. And fans from other rival clubs will also come out in support of the Glazers, saying that you've got good owners, you complain about them, you're spoiled brats, all you Manchester United fans, because look how much money your owners have spent in the last 10 years on transfers coming into Manchester United. But let's break this article down. Let's see exactly what this is trying to tell us. Firstly, the £1 billion spent is from money that Manchester United made, not what the Glazers have put into the club. The Glazers have never spent any of their own personal money in the club. What this article does actually show is that the spending under these owners has been absolutely diabolical. It's been awful. It shows that the Glazers have no clue about football. It shows that the Glazers put in charge people that have no clue about football. United have wasted all that money, not made any money on selling players. United have also bought players like Pogba, Lukaku, Maguire for huge amounts of money and not made any money in return for these players. The report just confirms even more why Manchester United fans want the Glazers out. Manchester United should be the very best in every class, but we're not. We're not even close. Everything needs to change, and this report reflects exactly why the Manchester United fans have been complaining for such a long time. Our club has been making money, spending money, but not achieving anything because the ownership of the club and the direction in which we're going has never been clear. Let us know what you think about this article. What do you think about the amount of money that Manchester United have spent on the transfers in? Do you think Manchester United have made errors in spending money? Do you think the players that have come in haven't been good enough? Or do you think there's something else underlying that we're missing completely? Let us know. Drop your comments below. Smash that like button on the video. And if you're new to the show, go ahead and subscribe so you can keep on top of all the Manchester United news and opinions. You're watching the Man United Stream, a channel by the fans for the fans.